Sexual harassment of women can have a variety of causes, and it is important to understand the underlying factors in order to effectively prevent and address the problem. Some of the common causes of women harassment include gender inequality. Women are often subjected to harassment and discrimination in societies where gender inequality is deeply ingrained. The belief that men are superior to women and that women are supposed to be subservient to men can lead to an environment where harassment is seen as acceptable. Power imbalances. In many cases, harassment occurs when someone in a position of power, such as a supervisor or manager, abuses their authority to harass someone in a subordinate position. This can create a toxic workplace culture that enables harassment to go unchecked. Lack of awareness and education. Many people are not aware of what constitutes harassment and the negative impact it can have on individuals and organizations. Raising awareness and providing education and training can help to prevent harassment from occurring in the first place. Cultural norms. In some cultures, certain behaviors or actions that are considered to be normal may be seen as harassment in other cultures. This can lead to misunderstandings and disagreements about what constitutes harassment. Lack of consequences. When harassers are not held accountable for their actions, it can send a message that harassment is acceptable. Establishing clear policies and consequences for harassment can help to deter such behavior. These are just a few examples of the causes of women harassment. It is important to recognize that each situation is unique and may involve multiple factors. Addressing harassment requires a comprehensive approach that takes into account the various causes and works to address them at multiple levels. The consequences of women harassment can be severe and long-lasting, both for the individual who has experienced the harassment and for the organization or community in which it occurs. Some of the potential consequences of women harassment include physical and emotional harm. Harassment can cause physical and emotional harm to the victim, including depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and other health problems. Damage to self-esteem and confidence. Harassment can erode a woman's self-esteem and confidence, making it more difficult for her to perform well in her job and in other areas of her life. Decreased productivity. When women experience harassment, it can affect their ability to concentrate, work effectively, and feel safe at work. This can lead to decreased productivity and absenteeism. High employee turnover. Harassment can create a toxic work environment that leads to high employee turnover. This can be costly for organizations and disrupt the workplace. Legal consequences. In some cases, harassment can lead to legal consequences for the harasser and the organization. This can include fines, legal settlements, and damage to the organization's reputation. Social and cultural consequences. Harassment can contribute to a culture that tolerates and normalizes abusive behavior, perpetuating harmful gender stereotypes and attitudes. It is important to note that the consequences of harassment can vary depending on the severity and duration of the harassment, as well as the individual and organizational context. Organizations have a responsibility to prevent and address harassment in the workplace in order to protect the safety and well-being of all employees. What to do if a woman harassed? If a girl is harassed in the workplace in India, there are several steps that can be taken to address the issue. Report the harassment to the company's Internal Complaint Committee, ICC, which is mandatory for all companies with 10 or more employees. The ICC is responsible for investigating and resolving complaints of sexual harassment. File a complaint with the local police station, which can take legal action against the harasser. Seek the help of a lawyer or legal aid organization, who can provide legal advice and representation. Contact the National Commission for Women, NCW, which is a government body that investigates complaints of harassment against women and provides support and guidance to victims. Reach out to organizations and helplines that specialize in supporting women who have experienced harassment, such as the Women's Helpline, 1091, or the Sexual Harassment Electronic Box, SHE-Box. It's important to remember that harassment of any kind is not acceptable and should not be tolerated. By taking action, you can help create a safer and more respectful workplace for yourself and others. What legal sections and acts applicable if a woman harassed? If a girl or woman is harassed in a working place in India, the following legal sections and acts may be applicable. The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act, 2013, this act defines sexual harassment at the workplace, sets out procedures for the prevention and redressal of sexual harassment complaints, and mandates the establishment of internal complaints committees in workplaces. Section 354A of the Indian Penal Code, IPC. This section deals with sexual harassment and provides for punishment of up to 3 years imprisonment or a fine or both. Section 354D of the IPC, this section deals with stalking and provides for punishment of up to 3 years imprisonment or a fine or both. Section 509 of the IPC, this section deals with word, gesture, or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman and provides for punishment of up to 3 years imprisonment or a fine or both. The Equal Remuneration Act, 1976. This act provides for equal pay for men and women for the same work or work of a similar nature. It's important to note that the laws and acts related to sexual harassment and gender discrimination are evolving in India. It is recommended to consult with a lawyer or legal expert for up-to-date information on the laws and procedures related to sexual harassment at the workplace. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.